Hey YouTube, coming at you with a video from a subscriber who is using dachsbun, DRIFBLIM, quagsire, which is actually something similar to what you're going to see from me tomorrow morning. Um, but this is, I was gonna, sorry, I'm laughing because there's like a lot of words here, and it starts off by saying, "Sorry, this is going to be long." I started watching you a few months ago, and definitely going to keep watching your very helpful and informative commentary. So thank you for that. We understand you have a very busy life and don't feel bad for prioritizing that over content. This team was inspired by an old team that you put out a while ago, which was Wiggly, DRIFBLIM, and Gastrodon, which was really fun for me. I wanted to try out dachsbun as a new charm user and tried Gastrodon, but didn't love Body Slam, realized the struggle against Jump Left and Talonflames. Yeah. So I switched to Shadow Quagsire. I have Sludge Bomb on it because I feel like because I used that during Color Cup and I didn't have any charged TMs. Welcome to GBL. But I didn't really mind for the grass and fairy coverage, and it's slightly faster charging than Stone Edge. This decent team was most likely better in the hands of a better battler, but it might be good with Gastrodon instead of Quagsire. I think I'm a decent battler, knowing some counts and some timing when I'm not panicking, but I definitely have areas to improve. I use Icy Wind almost every time and rarely charge up to the Shadow Ball to fake it, and then rarely charge up to this. Okay, yeah, you should be filling up to Shadow Ball just to fake it. I've always been stuck in this stupid 2100 to 2300 range, so please help. Greatly appreciate the critiques. Also, in the first battle, I did not mean to switch into Quagsire against the Credilli. Okay, I will keep that in mind right off the bat. Okay, yeah, I mean, like again, dachsbun, Charmer, gonna have problems against Steels, Quagsire, Mudboy. Should do with most steals for the most part. DRIFBLIM Stay Swap can just potentially Icy Wind and slash your opponent. Hopefully no normal typings. Let's look at them. Okay, Rhyperior. What the heck? So Rhyperior is a crazy Pokemon for the Great League. These moves are adding up, and geez, I don't really. If it's Breaking Swipe, okay. I don't even know. Yeah, I was about to say. I don't know the charge moves. I know Breaking Swipe is one of them, and that would be resisted, so that would have been okay. But they get to another move here. It is resisted, so you could have lived one, but that's okay. They come in Ariados, which is a poison, but you do have Psychic Fang, so this will do okay. And can we get another move off? We can, so this is nice. Getting off a second super effective Psychic Fangs. Not a ton of damage in the move itself, but come in DRIFBLIM and then panic swapped into the Quagsire. Basically at this point you just sacrifice this and then just go, yeah, just sacrifice and go DRIFBLIM. Having the Icy Wind is super effective, and you really don't need to worry about any moves on Ariados, Lunge, Trailblaze, Poison. That's all resisted, so honestly, yeah, any shield here is probably the way you do it, just because you don't need to worry about like I said, anything on Ariados here. So do get to another move. Do take it out. This will be super effective and it should one-shot. And then again, this thing has nothing for you. So that, yeah, they just top left. Malamar, great lead against a Dark. So they will get out into Azumarill finally. You don't have anything amazing for Azumarill. So going to stay in here and then... Well, you have Sludge Bomb on Quagsire, so that would actually really catch it off guard. And at this point, you should go in and once you hit this, yeah. Because they're not going to expect a Sludge Bomb and they're not going to shield it. You could take a move here. Oh, is this a Shadow Quagsire? So I'll put that in. I would be very surprised if they shield this. Okay, what do I know? Oh, they're going to try and flip switch here? Okay. Gonna try and flip switch. That actually makes a lot of sense because they have a Dark on the lead and they do not want the fairy on the Dark, so it makes sense that they shielded. Gotta shield up an ice beam here. Play rough. Okay. They're gonna come back in Malamar. Just going for the Icy Wind. I don't like this because I think they're just gonna let this go. Because there's no point of shielding. And now they're... Yeah. Okay, this is not a terrible matchup against a fairy in the back here. So that's fine. Sorry, against a grass. But DRIFBLIM is your win con. Why I don't like that shield is because there's no reason to keep Malamar alive. Unless they're trying to get a foul play off DRIFBLIM. Sorry, now I'm actually trying to think they can actually get a foul play off on DRIFBLIM and grab a shield. So maybe it's not the worst. But, okay. I just think you go for the Shadow Ball to like force that shield or take it out. You're just going to outpace here anyways, but... Because the difference in Icy Wind versus Shadow Ball damage is substantial. I like your transitions that you did in this. This was like fully edited for me, so it was very easy just to speed it up and put it in here. Okay, for Alligator, non-shadow, so you'll live for sure. And it takes 18 to get to, so you'll outpace it because it'll take 20 to get to the second Hydro. But this won't take out, so they can just let this go and take it into 0. And they decide to go into Talonflame and freak out there, coming into DRIFBLIM instead of your Mud Boy. So now I need to shield up a Flame Charge. Yeah, 3 versus 5 turn is fine in terms of the timing here. You kind of have to just to get this move off. But they've already bumped their attack, and now, yeah, right. I think you just let it... God, I was going to say, I think you let it go and come Quagsire at this point, but... Gonna decide to shield, but now they can just incinerate, and then it's a 6 versus 10, and this is starting to get ugly here. Starting to get ugly. They do let it go, which is actually somewhat surprising, but I guess when you want to get ahead on Galvantula Energy. You know, you could come with your try and catch. 2 and catch is actually quite smart because they're gonna they throw right on the when they got to the move, so throwing it. So 2 and a catch is nice. Gonna throw it here because they're probably gonna get to a move next, and if they're gonna throw a move, you want to force that shield. So I like this. They are gonna shield just to lower your attack, which makes sense. It'll still chip a lot. It's neutral. And a snipe here for the loss. Yeah, I think when you came in with your DRIFBLIM into their Talonflame behind an energy, you were in a bad situation there. Okay, Dugong, very tanky and outpaces you to the Icy Wind. So they will lower your attack here. However, these charms are adding up, and even with the lowered attack, you can just lower their defense immediately. So I think it just cancels each other out. Is that how it works? One level lower cancels each other out? I assume so. But if there's a different formula, please let me know. They are going to take it. Yeah. Ooh, going to come DRIFBLIM. Just going to take 2 super effective ice shards, but assuming that that energy is more valuable. No. Okay, yeah, no, that's 3. Sorry. Yes. 3 Astonish is 9 versus the 10 Incinerate. Yeah, probably worth the shield at this point. You don't know what's in the back yet. I go 9 there too. Going for the Icy Wind. These Astonishes are adding up enough that Icy Wind Astonish is the right play here. I mean, yeah, it's neutral, and Talonflame's pretty glassy. Gonna let this go. It is a fly, which does neutral damage, and it is a Swampert. So how much of these Aqua Tail is going to do on a Swampert? Oh, it's a Shadow Swampert, so that actually is very helpful because now you can just shield and take this out. I try and get a little bit of energy here. Yeah, very good, very good. So get off the Aqua Tail, and now with that little bit of extra energy, oof, they do get to move, but well, Flame Charge would boost their attack, which would make these just a fly. I was about to say, it would make the Incinerator a little more scary. Yeah, they would actually take you out if they boosted their attack. But they did not, so able to Astonish down. That's Noir. Again, seems neutralish. I thought this thing was... I guess Dust Noir is the evolved form, so it's not the XL Dusclops. And the Wiggly comes in, and it's just, oof. Down a shield already. You can play this match. Yeah, you have 2 options there. One is just to play that matchup out, or two, you come in here immediately. Those are your only two options. There's no in between. Hoping to catch this off guard. Maybe you'll catch it off guard. That's unfortunate. Problem is, because you're a Shadow Quagsire, the Aqua Tail is already borderline going to take it out anyways. So they're probably going to need to shield or just let it go anyways. And the Aqua Tail would have done basically enough because you're a Shadow and they're already so low. You're going to have to shield this up. Put you to 0 shields, which is not a good situation to be in. I mean, they don't have anything left on the Wiggly, and they're going to come in anyways, which is stupid because now you just leave your back Pokemon down a shield with only resisted moves here. Sorry, not down a shield, down to the last Pokemon where they cannot reset here. Although you are already in the red, so I don't even know if that matters. But Body Slam is double resisted, so maybe it does matter. Double resisted non-stab crap move is probably not going to take out from here. Not even close. Oh my goodness. And they didn't just shield anything, which is dumb. Oh my goodness. Okay. Never leave one Pokemon alive when you know your opponent has a Pokemon that can lower your attack or defense. Please. Okay. Jumpluff. The problem is Jumpluff's just going to outpace you, for starters. It's super bulky. These energy balls chip a ton, and they do not need to worry about your charge moves here. And that is not a great... Oh, you're so lucky they burned a shield for no reason there. They had no reason to burn that shield, and they would have outpaced you and put you in a brutal situation. But now you just take this, and they just throw Air Release and it doesn't even take you out. Your opponent's doing their best to screw this up. They could have taken your move. They could have got the energy ball off and taken a shield from you and been in a very good situation. And instead, they put themselves in a situation where they are down shields. Airless, throw the resisted energy ball. Instead of neutral airless, that one's a little closer. They do take switch. And I guess that switch is pretty nice. Let's start spamming these Aqua Tails. And you need to shield up anything here because these counters are going to start adding up real fast. So shield up this Rage Fist. Yep. I would throw the Aqua Tail ASAP. Like force their shield immediately. I would, if they have a shield, I wouldn't be surprised if they use it here. Yeah, I would as well, because I'm going to try to grab your last shield / take you out, so that way my DRIFBLIM can just dominate, and going to try and bank that. But they were ready and have a Rock Slide for you, and then they're just going to outpace you before you get to 2 moves here. Because you're going to, well, you know what? I think you could have gone double. This won't take out, and double Aqua Tail probably would have. I think you need to go double Aqua Tail because you won't align on the chart fast moves because you would have been 8 versus 9. So you could have got the Aqua Tail off. And then it would have been, let me just stop here because I need to see who wins CMP, Quagsire or Dunsparce. Because if Quagsire wins CMP, you should have thrown the Aqua Tail on 8 and then the one CMP on the next one. And I'll explain that when I confirm who wins CMP here. Quagsire with a, I guess I should do single so I can see their things. Quagsire with 111 in attack and Dunsparce with a 104. Yeah, so you would have won CMP. So, what am I talking about here? One, that's the assumption that a 2 Aqua Tail takes out, which I think it does in this range. So, in terms of timing, you CMP, which is charge room priority, when you both throw your moves at the same time. So it's very complicated on it's not as complicated on 2 versus 3, but I'll just give a 3 versus 3. For example, if you're in a mirror match and you both throw 3 turn moves, you both get to the, let's say DRIFBLIM, you both get to the Icy Wind at the same time. You will both throw the move at the same time, and so whoever has the higher attack gets to go first. That's what CMP is. Now, If you throw on off alignment, you obviously get the move through and then it resets. So basically what would happen here, as we're seeing here, you are in a misaligned time here. So you're at your charge move and they are still on their fast move. So what could have happened here is you could have thrown the Aqua Tail, and that would have chipped to the red, because they're only in the, like, barely over the green, so they're like 60%. You could have thrown the Aqua Tail here, and that would have got them to like 20%, and then it would have started at 0 again, and if you were both at a move and both threw it at the same time, you win charge move priority because you have a higher attack, so you would get the second Aqua Tail off. So I think you go Aqua Tail here, and then you CMP immediately here, and you take it out. And then we'll have to, I don't know if you even win it in the ending, but you have to, that was your only potential chance there. Okay, great lead against a fighter. They get into a Whiscash, and you're not going into your flying type Pokemon for some reason. I wouldn't even throw a charge move. Like, you have DRIFBLIM, which is going to do so well. But staying in this matchup and throwing, like, I would have banked this energy. Psychic Fangs is much more valuable on the Annihilate than it is here. I guess you're just going to try and, like, shield and stay in this matchup because DRIFBLIM can do okay, but now you're down to shield. So now that's Rage Fist is also going to cause you some problems, even though counter's resisted. Obviously, you have to stay in this matchup now because you need the Quagsire on this and the DRIFBLIM on the Annihilate here. So they'll get out immediately, and you're going to get out immediately, and you got to just hope that the Astonishes... Yeah, I guess it takes a while to get to Rage Fist, but still, I think you could have easily come against DRIFBLIM against Whiscash and just beat it pretty easily. Okay. Charge Bug. Discharge won't take out. One charm and a throw is good. Again, the problem with this Pokemon is that it just does not hit hard on the charge moves. Now, this could take you out, or you shield and take switch. What is more valuable to you? There's no right answer here. You can play either way. Deciding to shield and take switch, and it is a DRIFBLIM in the back. So, this is going to get weird because you will lower their defense and you will charm only one. You're going to have to... Oh, and they give up switch for Alligator, and you are screwed. I don't see how you come back a 2v1 shield here. So you're going to shield hit this. Try and lower their attack, I guess. Maybe grab a shield because Alligator is pretty glassy and they know they can outpace you. But now these claws are going to add up. Oh, yeah. And now you got to, like... You can Aqua Tail here, but they're going to outpace you to the next Hydro and win CMP. So they're going to move off right here on CMP and chart. Yeah. There's no right play, and then you shield and you just get killed. So I guess the only thing I will say about that play, I said there's no wrong play. And in theory, there's not. You can't... Let me just stop it here. There's going to be a couple explanations in these videos. You can't just watch the end of a matchup and be like, oh, you lost, you should play this differently. The only thing I will say is Shadow Quagsire is a bit glassy on the glassy side, and DRIFBLIM is, even as a non-shadow, pretty glassy. And DRIFBLIM really gets by on having shields, being able to Astonish, Icy Wind, Shadow Ball combo a lot with shield advantage because it hits so hard. So you can just like... It's kind of like Marowak. You can just... It's a shield monster, like in the 2 shields, Astonish, Icy Wind combo there. So the problem when you give up shields with dachsbun is that you now put a Pokemon that needs shields in the back at a tough position that, like, especially against Feraligatr is just a tough matchup in general because you just get outpaced significantly to the Hydros and the claws are effective. So you're pretty screwed no matter what. But like when you give yourself down a shield, you just kind of limit what you can do. Okay, great lead. Quagsire. So come in here. Mudshot is resisted. Again, they could have Stone Edge. It will hurt. Gonna respect the Stone Edge and shield up. And it is a Stone Edge. Again, the only problem with the Icy Wind is that it will not take out, and it is unlikely to grab a shield. And they're likely to get it to a move here, because they've already. And why did that combo just happen here? How did I know that was happening? I knew that was happening because they have done what they needed to do in the mid game there. They got a shield. They lost the lead. They came in with their switch. They're pretty hard punished with a flyer on their ground, but they got a shield. So the mid game is done. Quagsire did its job. It got a shield. At that point, you lose the Quagsire. You come back in with Dragonair. You maybe farm down, come out with some energy, and maybe chip dachsbun, and then 2-shield whatever's in the back. Like, that's essentially their win con. So when that's their win con, they have no need to shield your Icy Wind. Icy Wind is not... I think Icy Wind was a... it's not a legacy move, I'm sure. 21 minutes in. Oh, that has been pointed out 500 times by now. But yeah, so they don't need to shield that move. So let's see how the rest of this plays out. You do have energy now, and this will be super effective. But again, I doubt that they shield this. There's no reason to. Okay. Again, I don't think that's the right move. I think you need to 2-shield whatever's in the back here, because they're going to instant swap, and it's a Wiggly, and 100% you 2-shield Wiggly. Yeah. You just use that shield, use your charm damage, and just outpace there. So why they gave up, why they gave up the shield on the Dragonair, I don't know. You needed to save that. And also, dachsbun doesn't really have any charge moves, so shielding that one doesn't make sense. Okay. Take it out. And now you have a Charmer on this. Just shield up the charge move, and you are good. Think your opponent threw that, because that's not how you should play that matchup out after the mid game there. Okay, Gashadon. Neutral leads we just play out, but you immediately, if they team build properly, you need to start worrying that they have, well, they may just have an answer for grass, but they may also have an answer for a flyer, because Gastrodon is going to have a lot of problems against flyers. So, I mean, they could have an ice, because grass and flying combo, what's your weakness? And your like a duo combo is an ice that can beat both. So if you lose switch here, and you come in here, they could hit you with like an ice type Pokemon, or for alligator. Okay, it's still going to beat you, but like, again, I thought they would have something. If you're building a true balance team, that's how you build it. Shielding one, but again, well, you got a couple of Astonishes through, so maybe you can outpace the next move here. Yeah, because you already had so many Astonishes, so you can outpace here, but in general, you would get outpaced here. But they live knowing that it's just a... Does DRIFBLIM? Yeah, DRIFBLIM's pretty attack heavy. That makes sense. And they decide to just go shield advantage Talonflame. That Incinerate does go through, but yeah, you just got to get the move off, I guess. And it does grab a shield, and now the attack fall, unless it's a Brave Bird, and even a lowered Brave Bird would be close here. Yeah. But they have back-to-back moves. That is rough. So back-to-back moves, because they farm so much on you, take you out there. Corviknight against a Charmer. So that sucks. Got to come immediately in here. Sand attack is resisted. Dugong. Again, yeah. Throw the Shadow Ball. There's no point in baiting here. You got to try and chip this and maybe flip switch if they let it go. They do not. Okay. So, yeah, I think you just let it go. Come and charm and then try and 2-shield Quagsire. It's a really tough situation you're in right here, though. So you're just going to have to let this go, and then I'll try and get the Quagsire. But even Quagsire with Mudshot is not going to do and you just have to spam Aqua Tails and shield up charge moves. So we'll see how it plays out. Okay, just going to chip there. Got to let this move go. 2-shield what's in the back. And by that, I mean 2-shield quagsire. Instant swap here, keep this alive. I don't think there's a point of staying in here because now, I mean, they don't have anything that can lower your attack, but I would try and save that Pokemon for like a catch later if you can. Yes, very, very, very attack heavy Go Lurk, so you have to shield everything here. They let it go. I guess knowing that, yeah, you're just going to get outpaced here because I already had to move. And it's just an Iron Head. Ooh, throwing the resisted Iron Head. Sand attack, maybe not enough to farm you down here. They're going to need 2. Yeah, Sand attack is not as fast charging, but it's not a hard hitting move. You may actually get out of this. Shield up this. Why would you throw the Iron Head when it's only 1 more to Sky attack? Oh, they blew it. Okay, you should have lost that one too. But, yeah, your opponent throwing Iron Head there. What a mistake. Okay. Yeah, so I don't think I'm surprised that your highest is like 20, would you say 2,400? Never getting past 2,400. That kind of surprises me. Like, don't get me wrong, there's definitely some ways I would have played differently. Some Pokemon I would have come into differently. But your timing's pretty good. Again, even that last one that you won, even though your opponent threw it, you understood your win con, right? You got a shield on DRIFBLIM with the Shadow Ball. You came in with dachsbun knowing you're just going to charm and take it out, and then you have to sweep. Again, I would have kept the dachsbun alive to potentially catch on it, but you knew 2-shield quagsire was your win con. So I think you got like the basic fundamentals down. Yeah, maybe with more practice, you'll just kind of get a little better. But thanks for the submission. Yeah, with dachsbun already on the top here, and I just had a team with dachsbun, which I did pretty well with. I went 8-2, and then I lost with the 11th game, so I went 8-3. So I will showcase that tomorrow morning. So different thumbnail though, because we cannot promote the same Pokemon twice. Anyways, that's it. Thanks for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one.